As the NFL season reaches its critical stretch and playoff implications loom larger with every passing week, the Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers are preparing for what could be one of the most consequential clashes in recent memory. A matchup that not only reignites one of the league's oldest and most storied rivalries, but also places first place in the NFC North squarely on the line, offering a dramatic and tangible lens through which to view the narratives of two franchises whose fortunes have diverged and converged over decades. A rivalry that has historically been dominated by Green Bay, yet now finds itself at a rare moment where both teams are performing at an elite level. With the Bears sitting atop the division at 9-3 and the Packers trailing closely, half a game back, with the potential swing in standings poised to reverberate across the entire NFC playoff picture, making Sunday's contest not just a test of talent, but a referendum on strategy, leadership, and mental fortitude under the unforgiving pressure of professional football. And it is within this context that the personalities and philosophies of the two head coaches, Ben Johnson of the Bears and Matt LaFleur of the Packers, come into sharp relief, as Johnson, who made headlines and set the tone for his tenure with a bold statement back in January at his introductory press conference in which he not only expressed a desire to remain in the division, but also unabashedly referenced his previous successes against LaFleur during his time as offensive coordinator in Detroit, effectively reigniting a rivalry narrative that had simmered beneath the surface for years, setting up an emotional and psychological layer to this game that goes far beyond statistics and standings, while LaFleur, for his part, has publicly acknowledged Johnson's capabilities, recognizing him as one of the best play callers in the league, yet tempering that respect with subtle, knowing smirks that betray a lingering competitive edge and a desire for vindication, revealing that the mental chessboard between these two sideline leaders is as significant as any matchup on the field. And when combined with the physical stakes, players who have grown up watching this rivalry, fans whose loyalties and pride are inseparably tied to the outcomes of Bears-Packers contests, and media narratives that amplify every jab, quote, and historical reference, the game takes on a dimension of meaning that transcends a typical Sunday in December, particularly given the tight race for playoff positioning, where a Bears victory not only solidifies their hold on first place and potentially positions them favorably for the postseason, but also deals a consequential blow to Green Bay, who would not only fall to second in the division, but could also slide in the seeding, giving San Francisco a tiebreaker advantage and shifting the momentum in a tightly packed NFC bracket. While a Packers win would reverse these implications, allowing them to reclaim control and send a message that, despite recent losses, the traditional dominance of Green Bay in this rivalry remains intact, creating a high-pressure environment in which every snap, every coaching decision, and every individual performance carries magnified significance, and the historical context further enriches the narrative. The Bears have not beaten the Packers twice in a row since 2007, a statistic that underscores the rarity of back-to-back victories in this matchup and the enduring challenge that Chicago faces when trying to assert itself consistently against Green Bay, a streak that has loomed over the franchise for nearly 2 decades, and it is within this historical framework that last season's memorable Week 18 walk-off victory at Soldier Field, punctuated by Cairo Santos's dramatic field goal, is celebrated as both a turning point and a symbol of potential, offering a glimpse of what is possible if Chicago can translate sporadic success into sustained dominance. While Lambeau Field itself, with its hallowed history and intimidating atmosphere, adds yet another layer of complexity, as visiting teams, particularly the Bears, must contend not only with the opposing roster and coaching strategies, but with the psychological weight of a venue that has long been a fortress for Green Bay, a stadium where momentum swings, crowd energy, and historical reverence all contribute to the challenge of securing a victory. And in this context, the current rosters of both teams are particularly noteworthy, as both squads are performing at levels not often seen simultaneously in the history of this rivalry, with both franchises at least 5 games above 500 for the first time since 2001 at this point in the season, a rarity that imbues the matchup with additional stakes, suggesting that this is not merely a game between historically competitive teams, but a meeting of two legitimate contenders, each capable of making deep playoff runs, a situation that enhances the intensity of player rivalries on the field, amplifies the scrutiny of coaching decisions, and heightens the anticipation for fans who recognize that the implications extend beyond the division to the championship aspirations of both clubs. And it is also critical to consider the broader strategic landscape in which this game occurs. Chicago, with home field advantage in subsequent games and a relatively favorable schedule, has the opportunity to leverage momentum from this contest to solidify its position, whereas Green Bay faces a more complex path that includes a difficult road trip to Denver, emphasizing that the pressure is particularly acute on LaFleur's squad to deliver in this matchup, as failure would not only impact immediate standings, but also complicate the logistical and psychological preparation for upcoming contests, making this Sunday's game a nexus of strategy, psychology, and execution, where every detail, from injury reports and personnel rotations to coaching adjustments and in-game decision-making, can tilt the outcome. And the media ecosystem surrounding this rivalry, with fan engagement, social media discourse, podcasts, and live shows dissecting every comment and historical reference, amplifies the stakes, creating a feedback loop in which public perception, narrative framing, and team psychology intertwine to produce a spectacle that is as much about storytelling as it is about football itself. And when considering individual players, the significance of personal performance and legacy becomes evident, as quarterbacks, receivers, defenders, and special teams players all carry the weight of not only team expectations, but also historical narratives, personal pride, and professional reputations, with the pressure to perform magnified by the knowledge that success in this rivalry can define careers, while mistakes are magnified and remembered, contributing to a broader tapestry of motivation that elevates the game beyond mere statistics. And as analysts predict a tight contest with potential swings in momentum and late-game heroics, the tactical dimensions are equally compelling, with both Johnson and LaFleur deploying intricate schemes, exploiting matchup advantages, and adjusting in real time to the fluid dynamics of an evenly matched opponent, highlighting the cerebral and technical aspects of football that often go unnoticed by casual observers, but which are crucial determinants of success at this level. And as the city of Chicago and the broader fan base prepare for what promises to be a defining afternoon, the convergence of history, strategy, rivalry, stakes, and performance coalesces into a single, electrifying event that captures the essence of what makes professional football compelling, illustrating how preparation, psychology, skill, and narrative combine to produce a contest whose impact resonates far beyond the final score, leaving fans, players, and analysts alike captivated by the unfolding drama of Bears versus Packers, a rivalry renewed, stakes heightened, and history in the making, where the outcome will not only shape the immediate standings, but also influence the arc of the season, the legacy of the coaches, and the ongoing saga of one of the NFL's most enduring and passionate rivalries.